Civilization or Barbarism, an Authentic Anthropology by Dr. Cheikh Anta Diop. Chapter 14: How to Define Cultural Identity. For every individual, his or her own cultural identity is a function of that of his or her people. Consequently, one must define the cultural identity of a people. This means, to a great extent, one must analyze the components of the collective personality. We know that three factors contribute to its formation. 1. An historical factor. 2. A linguistic factor. 3. A psychological factor. Every attempt to reinforce or to modify the cultural personality must consist of carefully studying the appropriate mode of action on these three factors. Perfect cultural identity corresponds to the full simultaneous presence of these factors in the individual. But that is the ideal case. In reality, one finds all types of transitions, from the normal to the extreme case of an identity crisis following a lessening of the distinct factors cited above. Their specific combinations offer all possible cases, individual or collective, where one factor functions fully, another has a very weak effect on uh, or even none at all, as we will see when linguistic expression of the mother tongue is lost in the diaspora. One could ask oneself which of the three is the most important. In other words, which one would suffice to characterize cultural personality in the absence of the other two? Does this question make sense? Is such a case possible? To answer this question, we must review the relative importance of each of these factors in a brief analysis. Historical factor. The historical factor is the cultural cement that unifies the desperate elements of a people to make them into a whole by the particular slant of the feeling of historical continuity, lived by the totality of the collective. It is the historical conscious thus engendered that allows a people to distinguish itself from a population whose elements, by definition, are foreign, one from the other. The population of a large city market is composed of foreign tourists who come from the five continents and who do not have any cultural bond with each other. We'll pause right there and continue back with civilization or barbarism. I'm Uriel. Hi, it's